winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Yes, everything must change. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and music makes me cry.
Everything must change. Nothing and no one stays the same. And yet most of us desire a sense of permanence amid life's uncertainties. We long to live lives where tomorrow is predictable, where the ground beneath our feet is steady and unchanging. Have you ever found yourself longing for things to stay the same, only to realize that change is what brought the unexpected growth into your life? Sure, the idea of everything staying perfect forever might sound tempting. There's no aging, no surprises, but where's the pizzazz in that? We might crave permanence, but the real question is, are we willing to pay the price for permanence? It's comforting to know that life's only constant is its unpredictability. Bishop Carlton used to say, shift happens. I put emphasis on that F, didn't I? Shift happens, whether we are ready for it or not. The shift towards change can be scary, difficult, and even unsettling. Although it's a constant and unavoidable part of life, still many of us resist it, clinging to a false illusion of how we think the world should be instead of embracing the possibilities of what it can become if we would only embrace the change. In the Buddhist concept of anicca, we are reminded that all things are impermanent and that attachment to permanence leads to suffering. Our holding on to whatever it is that needs to grow, shift, change only leads to our suffering. So we must learn to let it go. Look at our nation. People not only will resist change, but they will willfully want to go back to some former time of glory. But I say to them, we need to recognize what Dylan saw. These times, they are a-changing. And we must change along with them. When I work with couples in relationship counseling, I often hear, I just don't know who he is anymore. Or, she's not the same person I married. Well, good. She's not supposed to be the same person she was when you married her. And neither are you, Buttercup. We all change over time. You're not the same person you were 25 years ago. And you're not even the same person you was yesterday. One of the biggest arguments my partner and I had in our relationship was over dinner. We were at a restaurant and the waitress was taking our order. Now, when it got to the salad, I said, oh, he'll take ranch dressing. At which time, Mr. Everything Will Change remarked, I don't like ranch dressing. After being together 15 years at that point, I certainly knew what type of salad dressing he liked. So what do you mean you don't like ranch dressing? I don't, he declared. You do, I retorted. So after going back and forth, I decided dinner was over. And I'm serious. I wasn't going to eat with some stranger that I didn't know. So I asked the waitress to make that meal to go, pack it up. And I didn't say anything to him the whole way home. But when I finally did speak up, I said, I know how you like your eggs, your favorite color, your love for coleslaw, and everything to do with potatoes. So I know you. He said, can I change my mind? I said, no, you can't. No, you can't. And that was that. And I'm just kidding, y'all. He could eat any type of salad dressing he wants, as long as it's ranch. He's looking at me like, ooh. Oh, everything will change. And you just sang it to me. If we live long enough, folks, at some point we will break the molds of every aspect of our former selves. And this breaking it will be uncomfortable, even painful, but it is necessary. So it might be time for you to let go of that 20-year-old favorite outfit you've been holding in your closet for 20 years, hoping you're going to lose that extra 30 pounds so that you can wear it again. Y'all act like I ain't just said something. You know you got a piece in your closet that you've been holding on to for a long time, right? That piece has gone out of style, is not back in style, and you still can't fit it. I do have a piece in my closet, by the way. We often talk about change and transformation interchangeably. If we were to look a bit deeper, however, we might notice the subtle yet profound differences between change and transformation. Think of change as the stuff that happens around you and to you. It's like when you move into a new city, start a new job, or pick up a new hobby. These changes are easy to spot, kind of like watching the scenery shift as you're driving down the highway. Now, have you ever been through something, maybe it shook you up a bit, but then you found out you were stronger or braver than you thought? When people have been running all over you for much of your life, and then you finally said, enough. Now that's not just change, that's the start of something bigger. That's transformation. Transformation is all about what's going on inside of you. It's about how these experiences add up, pushing you to grow, to rethink your values, to even change how you view and interact with the world. Like you're in that new job facing challenges that you've never dealt with before, and you discover this inner strength and passion you didn't know that was there. And you accomplish something, and you even surprise yourself. So when I'm thinking about all the stuff we go through, the big moves, the new beginnings, try to see not just what's changing on the outside, but also how it's shaping you on the inside. That's transformation. Reflect on your journey, the ups and the downs, and ask yourself, how have I transformed? It's a way to see not just where you've been, but who you are becoming. The metaphor of the caterpillar metamorphosing into a butterfly also beautifully illustrates this idea. The caterpillar's journey doesn't end in the chrysalis. It transforms, emerging as a creature of entirely new form and essence. This process mirrors the natural cycles where even death plays a crucial role in our renewal and growth. And by embracing death as a part of life's transformative process, we open ourselves to a deeper understanding and acceptance of each change as an opportunity, as a step to truly grow and live. Now, that is a mouthful, and if I was in the first service, I would say it deserved an amen. Amen. But we're not in the first service. Don't get that confused. I love messing with you all at the point. It's so much fun. Now, in the PBS documentary, Sister Una lives a good death. Sister Una, a smoking, drinking, wisecracking Catholic nun, faces her terminal cancer diagnosis with unmatched zeal and even laughter. Now, have you ever encountered someone who is facing their final moments, but they taught you a profound lesson about how to live? I've met a few folks like that. Now, she redefines the journey toward death, not as waiting for the end, but as an opportunity to embrace life's moments, making her final months a vibrant celebration rather than a somber countdown. Facing death, she decides not just to wait for the end, but to actively embrace each moment left, transforming the notion of a dignified exit into a form of art. Sister Una takes on her final 9 months with a zest that is both inspiring and heartwarming. Now, she goes to the point of planning her own funeral as a joyous gathering and ticking off bucket list adventures. Sister Una embodies the spirit of films like Patch Adams and The Bucket List, showing that death is merely a chapter in our larger story. She says, from the time we draw our first breath, we were beginning the journey to our last breath. Let's use that time to really make it happen, she says. Let's make change happen. Let's be about justice and peace. And then she goes on, my spirit is alive. I don't feel fearful of dying. For me, it's another level of freedom. And I think my journey of dying has given me a freedom I've never known before. I am free to live and to love out loud. Every day is a new gift, and every day I'm going to live it the best I can. You know, helping others, she said. And her death was a good death. And they celebrated it with some Irish whiskey and laughter. Sister Una lives a good death, invites viewers to see life and death with humor and acceptance, reminding us to live authentically and love deeply, treasuring every moment we have. Now that is a transformation. And our world, across political systems, social structures, and personal relationships, urgently demands more than just surface level changes, but a fundamental transformation, a deep shift in our collective consciousness. We need a transformation. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has undeniably forced us to confront the depth of change required in such a shift. It wasn't just a global health crisis. It was a mirror reflecting our societal and individual vulnerabilities, demanding more than mere adjustments, but a sweeping transformation in how we live, how we connect, and how we care for one another. From the heartbreaking losses of over 6 million lives, maybe more, to the shuttering of our daily norms, the pandemic's toll has been immense. Seven members of one close-knit family in New Jersey contracted the disease, with 4 of them dying within 1 week of each other. And such heartbreaking stories abound. You and I know somebody that was affected by this virus. None of us has gone unchanged. Yet, amid the turmoil, there emerge countless stories of heroism, unity, and innovation. Healthcare workers emerged as heroes, inspiring communities and even changing skeptics' heart. Howard Breidenbach, a 47-year-old from Southern Oregon, a former COVID denier and conspiracy theorist, faced a life-threatening battle with the virus after refusing to get vaccinated. I was so sick, I couldn't remember how to write, to speak, or to think. I was too scared to even sleep, believing I wouldn't wake up, he shared. Yet he survived the illness with the help of his wife and healthcare professionals in their unwavering support. Howard was transformed into a fervent advocate for the vaccination. He said, I got a second chance, and I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to make the most of it, he vowed. I'm sure all of us can recall moments of kindness and courage that stand out to us, reminding us of our shared humanity. And if there's ever been a time in our lives we need our humanity to show, we need to show how much we care for one another. There was a rapid development of vaccines that highlighted what's possible when global cooperation with scientists and governments come together. They were able to get vaccines in record time. Teachers and students and other professionals have adapted to remote learning and interactions on platforms like Zoom and Google. It's a part of our lives now, folks. We've been transformed. And the pandemic also showed us a glimpse of what is possible if we were to change. Lockdowns and also reduced pollution, hinting at the environmental benefits of what's possible with collective action. Even the Himalayas became visible from Indian cities for the first time in decades, showcasing nature's resilience. So our journey today, folks, through the pandemic is a stark reminder that sometimes transformation is not a choice, but a necessity. It calls us to question the status quo, to dare to ask, what if and why not? It's a reminder that our time here on earth is finite, urging us not to postpone the essential work of personal and societal evolution. We must be about the business of change and transformation. Clinging to permanence comes at a cost. Trying to go back comes at a cost, as it forfeits our chance to evolve into the best version of ourselves. We must continue to move forward, not only in our personal growth, but also in the transformation of the world around us. That we become a society, a people, a community that not just survives, but thrives together. For the times, they are changing.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changin'. Come, senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he that gets hurt, well, he will be stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your halls, for the times they are a-changin'.